Hi, welcome to Teapot Naturals. We're located at One Bridge Connect inside Regency Mall in Jacksonville, Florida. You can also shop Teapot Naturals mineral-based foods, alkaline herbs, and herbal teas at www.teapotnaturals.com. Stay tuned for High Tea Talk. Hello. Welcome to Thursday High Tea Talk with Tarisha here at One Bridge Connect, Teapot Naturals. So today is going to be a very, very beneficial live where we're going to have a discussion about having a healthier holiday. So it's holiday time. Everybody's feeling the fever. I walked in One Bridge this morning and they have the Christmas tree up. I mean, the Halloween haven't even hit. And they already have up the Christmas tree. And that's because they're going to be taking holiday pictures here coming up, I believe, next week. So make sure you tune in for that and visit One Bridge and take your holiday family photos right here at One Bridge Connect. Let's see. What is my tea today? So today I'm going cold. I don't have my normal tea cup because I want to make sure to inspire you and let you know that you don't always have to have your herbal tea hot or warm. It's preferred to have it hot or warm, but you don't always have to have it warm and hot. It is very, very much okay to have a cold glass of iced tea. You know how when you used to go to McDonald's or wherever you go and you always order iced tea? Well, you can have your herbal tea the same way. So what tea am I going to be enjoying today for High Tea Talk? This is the Alkaline Cell Punch. This is a full body mineral tea. It is also the tea that I use when I am on a fast. The reason being is there's several herbs that are infused in this tea to help with several different things. Or if you're having different issues at the same time, like if you're experiencing high blood pressure, you're experiencing diabetes, you're experiencing inflammation of the body, or even if you have immune issues and all in the same body at all at the same time, then the Alkaline Cell Punch is a definitely way to go. And it is also a good tea to have when you're just starting with your holistic journey. Why? Because this is a full body mineral tea. So like I said before, that the body is made of 102 herbs. So when you're consuming the Alkaline Cell Punch tea, you are consuming all 102 minerals is infused in the Alkaline Cell Punch tea. So this is what I'm enjoying today. So you definitely have a mix of bitters, a mix of tasty. So it's not too bitter, but it does have a slight bitter taste to it. And of course, I add the wonderful agave in there. I put a little key lime, a little ginger to take that bitter taste away a little bit. Quite very well enjoyable. A great tea to start with, so that way you can kind of adjust your palate as you go into this transition, and you can give your body the full minerals that you need. So what are some of the herbs that is in the Alkaline Cell Punch tea, right? So, and this is what it looks like. We actually at Teapot Naturals, you can order the herbal tea by the gallon or half gallon, or you can order the herbal blend, and you would make your own tea and just have a cup of tea every day, whether it's warm, cold, hot, however you enjoy it. And so this is the Alkaline Cell Punch blend. It's a 2-ounce jar that should last you about 30 to 45 days. And if you have this cup of tea every day, you'll be just fine. It's also a tea that you can drink continuously, but with any herbs besides sea moss, I always suggest that you consume the same herb for 14 consecutive days, and then give yourself a 2 or 3 day break and drink something different. So that is the Alkaline Cell Punch tea. Now, some of the main herbs or the components that is in the Alkaline Cell Punch is the stinging nettle. The stinging nettle tea is great for pain. It is also great for hair growth if you're dealing with alopecia or you're dealing with bald spots and things of that nature. It actually gives some comfort there. This is a very, very strong component for vitamin C. So if your body is lacking vitamin C, the stinging nettle is very, very good for vitamin C. I also use a little bit of this herb in the Tammany Life for individuals with diabetes. Another one of the important herbs that is in the alkaline cell punch is the hortensia. The hortensia, and also named hydrangea. So some people know it by hydrangea and some people know it by hortensia. But this is the autoimmune system herb. This herb helps with if you're dealing with lupus, if you're dealing with sickle cells or anything that has to do with the effects of your immune system, then the hortensia is definitely an herb that you want to have in your shelf. It also helps with gallstones and kidney stones and things of that nature because it definitely helps with cleansing the kidney and getting things kind of prepared and back functioning properly. Hortensia is a very, very good herb to have. So these two herbs is included in the alkaline cell punch, along with burdock root and a few others. Blessed thistle is in there. So it's just a one-shot blend for those who really don't understand what to mix together, how to mix it together. Then we do offer herbal blends here at Teapot Naturals. So this alkaline cell punch is definitely a good go-to if you have several different ailments going on at the same time. If you're just starting in this holistic journey and you just want to get a start and get the minerals in your body, the alkaline cell punch is great. And also, if you are just, like I said, starting and fasting. So if you are proceeding with the fast and you want to have some type of herb to give you the minerals that you need while you're fasting, then the alkaline cell punch is definitely a good go-to tea. It's really good. So to me, like I said, I can't take too much sweet. So my palate is already kind of assimilated to the bitterness. So I love it when it's bitter, but I do have a bit of an agave inside of this tea. Tastes so good. So let's get right to our topic today, where we're going to talk about having a healthier holiday. So here's what I've noticed and experienced since I've worked with thousands of people all over the world. During the holiday time, you're about to go out this weekend. You're about to get prepared for the classic. You're going to be traveling a lot. And Lord have mercy, when Thanksgiving comes and you get ready to eat all that food, your cake, your pies, your ham, your turkey, things that you probably haven't eaten in a while. But when mom cooks it, you just have to dip in a little bit and take a bite. We're going to talk about that. And then you're going to turn around and just within a month later and do the same thing for Christmas. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to add on about another 10, sometimes 20 pounds. You're probably going to feel a little fatigue over the holiday, but you just still want to move around because you have to enjoy the holiday. You're not thinking about work. You're just reminiscing about the things that you went throughout the year. So during this time of the year, a lot of people are not too concerned with the health of their body because you just want to enjoy what you want to enjoy, right? Trust me, I know. And then after that, come January, oh, my New Year's resolution, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to go walking. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to save. Then you have all your New Year's resolution. And then all the herbalists in the city can't even keep their items on the shelf because you want to run and get the things that you need to get all that stuff out of the body. So this year, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can definitely transition that and begin a healthier holiday. However, I do like to keep things realistic. Like when you are with your parents and you are eating that food that you haven't eaten all year and you want to take a bite, let's just be realistic. More than likely, you are going to take a bite. But that's the thing, take a bite. So my first tip is take a bite. Do not fill your entire plate. Because if you have been eating healthier throughout the entire year, and when you get to the point of Thanksgiving and you start having this big old huge plate, first of all, a lot of times, a lot of you will deal with a lot of immediate inflammation. And then most of you will deal with a lot of constipation. And trust me, if you started this journey this year and you have not eaten any meat, okay, and you have not consumed any heavy sugars or starches, and then the holiday time comes around and you eat it, you are going to be sick. No hands down, you are going to become sick and ill because your body is already relaxed. Your body is already have a bit of cleansing because of all the hard work and dedication that you've done throughout the year. So then when you take that moment and you eat a whole plate of that food, you are going to have some discomfort. So what I would suggest is don't fill your plate. Make sure that you have little saucers or just take a little bite just to get that little taste bud and that craving away. Take a taste, but don't eat the plate. So that is number one I want to also share with you. Also, number two, go ahead and call your mom or your parents or your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever you plan to spend your holiday with, and discuss your holiday meals. So, like a lot of us, we're going to visit our family, and they're not quite on this vegan, this holistic thing yet. And, child, I'm not going to cook my regular dressing with my turkey in it. I don't know what you're talking about. You was tripping. That's basically what they're going to say to you, right? They're going to think you're out of your mind because you're asking them to eat vegan foods. Well, here's tip number two. Make sure that you go on to Ty's Conscious Kitchen, Food for Nagans, Call Foster, or even Teapot Naturals, because we do have some classes that will be coming up to show you how to make dishes that will replace some of your favorite items on your Thanksgiving and Christmas tables. For example, your dressing. If you've never had Teapot Naturals dressing, you will be amazed. I even chop up the mushroom in there. You know how when some people make dressing and they put the gizzards in there or they put the chicken in there and there's little niblets and stuff in there, and then you get your cranberry. Yeah, I know. If you're in the South and you know about soul food, then you know what I'm talking about when I said the little niblets in your dressing. So I take the mushroom and I chop that up very fine. I put that in a mushroom gravy, and then when I place that in the mushroom gravy, I get to feel that I have those niblets in my dressing. And I also use chickpea flour. I use agave instead of sugars. So there's several different things that you can replace to make your favorite holiday meals, but use mineral-based foods to do that. Not only that, whether it's good or not good, vegan or not vegan, make sure that you start ordering your alkaline herbs so you can put your herbs and season your food with those herbs. So some of the herbs that you want to have in your kitchen is like the burdock root powder. You also want to have sarsaparilla root powder and even sea moss powder, especially if you're baking your pies and you're baking your cookies and your sweets. You most certainly want to use the sea moss powder because sea moss powder actually helps your food to rise when baking. That's another tip. So sea moss powder actually is a great replacement for yeast to help your breads, your pies, your muffins, and even your dressing to rise to a perfect component. So be sure that you fill your shelf with different herbs, powder-based herbs, so you can season your foods with those herbs, and then you can also help to eliminate some inflammation in the body, some pain in the body, so you're more healthier for the holiday. And then you also want to make sure that you take a dish with you. So I know sometimes grandma or whatever mom said, don't bring anything, just bring my grandbabies and y'all come on. They're not going to have your dish. So make sure that you prepare your dish or you order your dish. When we release our new site at Teapot Naturals next week, we will have options where you can order your pan of vegan macaroni and cheese. You can order your pan of dressing. You can order your pan of whatever you decide that you would like to have, and you can take your own pan with you. But not only that, are you taking your pan with you for yourself? It also gives you an opportunity to share that with your family. And once your family tastes it, oh, I can do this. This tastes pretty good. You'll be amazed at how you will indirectly educate your family on how to have a healthier lifestyle, even during the holidays. So guess what? You don't have to actually add on an extra 10 pounds. Maybe just add on an extra 3 pounds just by replacing your foods with mineral-based foods, but you can still enjoy the same taste. You can enjoy the same ambiance, and most importantly, you don't have to miss the very important time that you're going to be spending with your family. Also, I want to make sure that we talk about the sweets a little bit. So during the holiday time, you know, you're going to have your cakes and then your pies. You know, well, let's back up a little bit. Now, one thing about our heritage here, you know, if you think about it during holiday time, what is on the African Americans' family plates? And not sometimes African American plates too, right? What's on the table? So you have the turkey, you have the chicken, you have the ham. And then you have maybe greens, and then you maybe have green beans, right? But then you have potato salad, you have macaroni and cheese, you have dressing, you have the pie, you have the cake. So more than 60% of your table is filled with sugar and starch. Now, a lot of times on TV, because I've never went to anyone else's holiday time, they have a lot of salads, a lot of veggie pastas, a lot of vegetables on the plate. But for some reason in our culture, we have a lot of sugar and starches. So to eliminate that, kick away the sugars. Use agave. And then with your special baking goods, and you need to have a powdered sugar, you can find date sugar that is in powder form. And I believe there's even a agave that's in a powder form. I think I've seen that, but I personally have, because I like to use things that naturally comes from the earth, the way that it comes from the earth. So I don't use those powder things, but try to find the powdered agave, especially as the powdered date sugars, to replace sugars in those items that you're cooking, to release it. Because once you're used to enjoying time with your family, and then your blood pressure is sky high, or what's the use of enjoying time with your family, and then your diabetes, your A1C levels is like through the roof, and then come January, you're trying to do everything you can to fix the problem. Well, these are things that you can include to ensure that those things are not as detriment as they have been before the years. Now, also, of course, there has been some change in our food. So if you overdo it, that means you're overdoing the body. Okay, so we want to make sure that you have some tips on how to replace those items. Find your mushroom, right? Because if the oyster mushroom is really, really chalky and meaty at the end of it, make sure you stay tuned for a live. I'm going to do a whole live on how to, do a whole Zoom class on cooking your meats for the holiday. And you can actually make your chicken thighs or your baked chicken, things of that nature, with the oyster mushroom that will provide the body with vitamin D, okay? And your iron levels can be improved while you are enjoying your normal holiday meals. And not only that, of course, kick away the sweet tea. Absolutely do not have any sweet tea on your table for the holiday. Go ahead and grab your herbal tea, make it very, very sweet, as much as you want with the agave, and now you have a full gallon of herbal tea to help resolve some of the issues that you normally would have when you're eating these foods over the holiday. So, Purity Posh Naturals, we want to make sure that you have some awesome tips on how to have a better and healthier holiday and then still enjoy your time with your family. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, you're going to be sick. I don't want to claim that on anybody, but I also have to be truthful, and this is from experience. So how do I know? So I started this journey in 2016. And in August, I started implementing the herbal teas, specifically the alkaline cell punch. And then I started drinking, each individual herb day by day to give myself a little test on what this herb makes me feel like, what it tastes like, what would be the best time of the day to have it. And then September 1st, I did my first fast. And in September 1st, when I did that first fast, it was so amazing. I felt so great. But then right after that, for Thanksgiving, I went home to my auntie Coco house, and Lord have mercy, that lady know how to cook, and she know how to cook my favorite foods. And I was like, look, I've been doing really good for the last 2 months. I've dropped about 30 pounds for the last 2 months. I'm just going to enjoy myself for the holiday. And I indulged in all the food that I wanted to eat during the holiday. And when I went back home to South Florida, I literally could not return to work. I was laid out on my sofa for about an entire week, just trying to maneuver. I had no energy, and it felt like my body had been food poisoned. So this is what happens when you take these items away from your diet, and your body then begins to cleanse itself. When you put it back, it will definitely show you what it has been doing to the body all this long. But because you have been so used to eating the foods and you've been so used to and comfortable with eating these foods, then you can't even feel what it's doing to your body while you're eating it because you've been eating it so long. And then you go through withdrawal periods. Okay, when you cut these foods, you will go through withdrawal periods where the cravings will increase. Okay, and you get aggravated, and nobody can really talk to you because you're frustrated, you're upset, mad, or whatever the case may be. When you're going through those withdrawal periods, but once you pass that moment, you see where the energy return, the weight starts coming down, and your body is at a complete refresh. So imagine your body being at a complete refresh for a whole 9 months, 3 months, and then you go back and put those items in the body. And trust me, you will immediately find out what the difference is. And constipation is one of the #1 components of that. And I don't know about you guys, but when I'm constipated, I am so miserable. Like, it even really hurts trying to get it out. It's like, oh God, get out. I know that might be too much TMI, but I'm gonna keep it real. It's just like, oh God, and then you're a little sore and you're burning back there, and then you got big old knots, and your stomach is just expanded everywhere. I know this is TMI, but I keep it real. You feel me because you didn't experience this yourself. So because Luke over here behind me, he's just died laughing. So that's why I had to mention it. I know it's kind of TMI, but it's true, right? So you can avoid those things. Just make sure that you are changing some of the ingredients in your food. Okay, so you want to try have a little tablespoon of the regular dressing, but you also have your dressing. Because trust me, if you have your dressing and your macaroni and cheese and you have it there with you on the table, then you're more than likely not going to try the other option that is there. But then everybody at the table is going to want to try yours because it's something new. And then they're going to be amazed that it tastes so good. So what an awesome way to trick your family into learning and being introduced and eating healthier foods on the table. That's one of the things that Dr. Sebi had taught us about us eating this way. Back in those slavery days when the slaves were brought over on the ship, the people didn't bring their food with them. So they took the garbage and then they made delicacies out of it. That's just how powerful we are. We are creators. We make things happen with nothing. We're going to make it happen. So due to that, they took the garbage and they made delicacies out of it. And those delicacies are what we enjoy. And since we've been eating them for years on years on years, we're now addicted to those things. And we think we have to have those things. And then now in the millennial time, the food is totally different. All of you know that a lot of these foods have preservatives in it, have chemicals in it. You have cereals with paint thinners in it. I mean, come on, read the ingredients. And if you don't know the words in the ingredients, then Google the word in the ingredients. You will be amazed how food has changed over the years. Like one of the things that your grandparents is gonna say, well, I've been eating this food all my life and it ain't did nothing to me yet. So I'm gonna keep on eating my food, right? Well, listen, Grandma, the food is not like it was when you was eating the food back in the 1920s and the 30s. There has been transitions in the food since the 1950s and 60s. And then even now, because there's become, the food is changing so drastically because a lot of these foods are becoming distinct. A lot of animals now are becoming distinct. So they have to replace it to something else. So the foods that Grandma had back in the 20s and 30s is not the same foods that your children are eating in 2010 and 2020. Hence the reason why a lot of young adults are now dealing with terminal illnesses in their 20s and 30s. You have no business dealing with high blood pressure at 32, 35 years old. And oh my God, you're dealing with diabetes and you haven't reached 30. And lo and behold, all the individuals that are dealing with cancer symptoms in their 20s, one of the main components of those hot fries. I'm sorry, flaming hot, all this. Oh my God, maybe I shouldn't have said name, but I'm gonna keep it real. That is complete acid that is ripping up the muscles and tissues in your body like crazy. And then you are extremely addicted to those things. So I encourage you during this holiday time, take some moments and take a break from it. Not only that, you'll be preparing for our January fast. Everybody gonna fast in January. Oh, I'm gonna fast. Yeah, I'm hopping on this fast. We have a lot of people that will join us on the fast in January. Because I know in November and December, you do not want to think about eating healthy. You are not going to want to think about what I got to do to cleanse my body. All the thing you're thinking about is how you're going to enjoy life, and life is what it is. And a lot of people say, well, shoot, I'm going to eat this pork chop because I'm going to die anyway. But you ain't got to die that early. I mean, come on, you're going to really allow the pig to kill you? Aren't you smarter than the pig? I mean, let's just keep this real, right? So since we're all into this holistic living, make sure that you make sound choices when it comes to your food as we enter into this holiday. Get the minerals in your body. The foods that you have been eating does not have minerals that you need to sustain the body and to put the body in a position to heal itself. So make sure, without a shot of a doubt, no matter what you're eating, you either have an herbal tea drink daily, and you add herbs to the foods that you are cooking. All right, and take some choices and choose a different type of food. So make sure that you check out our new website sometime next week. I did said I was going to release it on the 1st, but it's hard, so I might be late. I'm just going to really can't. So it might be Wednesday instead, but I'm going to try between the 1st and Wednesday. And you will see the option for you to select classes. You'll also see an option where we're going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving buffet here at One Bridge, so that when you come out and enjoy holiday vegan food, you get to taste it for yourself. And also make sure that you plan in advance what foods that you need. Either you're going to cook it or you're going to purchase it so you can take it with you when you go to your family and enjoy these holiday times. So, any questions? Do we have any questions, Autumn?
No, Brenda said call her.
Brenda said, Brenda, you always want me to call you. I'm going to call you, girl. You got to call me because I'm going to forget. By the time I hang up this live, I'm going to keep it real. By the time I hang up this live, I'll be forgot, but maybe Autumn definitely will remind me. But if I don't call you by the end of the day, Brenda, make sure you call me. Any other questions from anybody?
No questions at all. Bring that water and close out.
Okay, all right. So again, guys, you can make this holiday much healthier. Please, please don't get too sick. We will be waiting for you after the Christmas time when you're ready to take a fast and you're ready to change and you're ready to get all the inflammation out of the body. We most certainly will be available for you. But I want to make sure that you have some tips on how to prevent some of those things prior to you going into this holiday season. Remember, the food is different. So don't engulf yourself. Don't go overboard. Just make sure that you're being thoughtful about what you're eating. And most importantly, get your herbs so that way you can cook with the herbs that you need to give you a healthier lifestyle. So I repeat, those herbs that you want to have in your shelf, you want to have sea moss powder. We do have sea moss powder at teaposhnaturals.com. You want to have sarsaparilla powder, and you want to have burdock root powder. If you're cooking with and seasoning with any liquids, you can take the roots, make a tea, and use the tea as in replacement for the liquids that you use for the soup, for the foods that you're cooking as well. So make sure, guys, that you don't overdo it. Take a taste, not the whole plate. Okay, just take a taste to get that craving out of the way and be well. Don't become too sick. But if you do, we're here for you. TeaPotNaturals.com. Thank you so much again, Thursday, for joining me for High Tea Talk. We enjoyed our cold alkaline cell punch today. It's so good. You can see my cup is almost gone. Great starter tea. Great tea for fasting when you're fasting and you're just starting off with the alkaline cell punch. Along with, if you're dealing with various illnesses in the body, then you maybe want to start off with the alkaline cell punch. But we love you guys here at One Bridge Connect and Regency Mall. When you come into Regency Mall, you're going to go on the J.C. Penney wing and look for One Bridge Connect. And we're located right here at One Bridge Connect for all your mineral-based foods, alkaline herbs, and herbal teas. Have a wonderful day and stay dry and do all count. It is now time to try a natural sweetener, raw agave. Raw agave is produced from a cactus plant and it doesn't affect your sugar levels. Here at Teapot Naturals, we import our raw agave directly from Mexico. Not only that, we infuse our raw agave with burdock root so you can enjoy your cake, your pies, your sweets, and anything you need to add that sweetener to your taste. Add raw agave. So shop your raw agave at www.tposhnaturals.